Hello, everybody. Hi. Hi, how's it going? You might be a little bit shocked to see it's not Emily sitting in front of the web camera this time around. It's me. My name is Christian. I am what you've used to see probably as the moderator, taking care of the chat. But Emily is taking a well-deserved day off, and let me take the challenge of guiding you through level design in Unreal Engine. First of all, is the mic good? Is the sound alright? Can you guys hear me? Is the music maybe a little bit too loud? Unfortunately, I don't have anything to monitor from here, so so if I can just do a quick sound check. Am I alright? Am I in focus and whatnot? But I'll just talk a little bit, and first of all, we are going to do level design in Unreal Engine. Now, if you are on our Discord, you probably saw that probably an hour ago I asked people to, or you, lovely viewers, to go in and download the Epic Game Launcher. It should be, and then actually go in and download the engine, because that's what we'll be using, because Unreal Engine is combined, or at least is the only place that you can launch it from is through Epic Games Launcher. But if you played Fortnite, or you probably played some games, you probably already have the launcher, and you've probably seen the little Unreal Engine tab somewhere. If you haven't, I will quickly go in and kind of show you how to do this. So this is Epic Games. You'll probably, when you start the whole thing... Oh, hello, Hero Civ. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Fantastic. And I hope the sound is good and everything goes by the book. Do let me know. And also have a little bit of a tendency to go a little bit fast now and then. So if I'm talking a little bit too fast, or if there's something that I completely skipped over, please do remind me in the comments. So, but this is Epic Game Launcher. You probably have seen this before. You can go in and get your neat little copy of Fortnite in here. But if you go into Unreal Engine here, you will see that if not, there will probably be a little yellow icon here where you can either install, or you can go to your library. Now in here, you want to press this little yellow button, and then you can decide which one you want to use. For this one, just to make sure that we all like on the same page, I want you to download 5.3.2, because that's the one that I'm on. 5.4 is a preview, so that means that it's in testing phase. It's not official release yet, so can be a little bit wonky, maybe be a little bit unstable, and there might be some features that I do not have access to. So please go ahead and download that. Do a quick reminder. I hope you have saved up a little bit of a little bit of storage on your PC, since that I think Unreal Engine is about 30 gigs in size. So if you haven't installed, I would highly recommend you just punch install, just say yes to everything, get that up and running, and then I will just like buy you a little bit of time and just talk a little about what's gonna happen today. And who the hell am I? Never really had the time, just as Emily has been doing it. So once again, my name is Christian. I am currently at my 4th semester here at CADA, Copenhagen Academy of Digital Arts, and yeah, as you can hear by it, we are situated in Denmark. I'm currently doing my semester project with my entire class, where we also are using Unreal Engine for a cool little thing that I might not gonna be able to talk that much about. I'm under NDA, so that's like a cool thing. So my previous knowledge about 3D wasn't, well, I applied for the school and I applied with 2D drawings and photography. That was like my two main goals. I did also the donut, the classic one that probably everybody has with Blender. And yeah, now it's been, gosh, almost 2 years I've been here at the school, so it's been great fun. And if there is any questions about the school, about anything in 3D in general, maybe also a little bit more about me or my journey with 3D, please don't hesitate. Go right ahead and ask away. I'm seeing there is quite a few viewers, so where are you guys tuning in from? Are you all Danish, or are we tuning in somewhere hopefully a little bit warmer than Copenhagen, even though our temperature is for once in double digits today? And also, a good thing that also Emily says quite often is that there is a latency when it comes to... there is a latency, so if I don't respond immediately, that's because like there is a little bit of a transfer between OBS and YouTube and stuff like that. So if I haven't answered you immediately, just bear with me and have some patience. Now, let's say that you have already installed this. I'm just gonna open this up and just like show you the power of what Unreal can do. Unreal is an engine. It is can do this in real time, so that means that what you're basically seeing in the viewport is basically what you're seeing is being kind of like rendered in real time, so you're getting a fast result. So that is pretty cool. Unreal Engine can be used for a bunch of things. I can show you quickly what you can do. This is what you will be greeted with when you start Unreal Engine. You can see there is like some different tabs and some interesting things. First of all, your recent projects. So if you already have your projects, you'll find them in here. There is games, where we're gonna choose this one for this time around. But there is first-person shooter, where you basically can try and play from like an FPS and try and build on that. Third person, where you see it from basically outside and see the entire character. Top down, if you played Baldur's Gate pretty recently, that would be like your to-go-to. There's some augmented reality, there is some virtual reality as well, and there's also a racing. So that's pretty cool. We also have film, video, and live events. There's a bunch of things you can do in Unreal. Architecture as well. Archivists. So if you want to like propose some cool designs for an architecture company, that would be pretty cool. You can also do automotive. Haven't touched that before. Product configuration. There is like heaps and heaps of stuff that you can do in here. And then there is simulation as well. But yeah, quickly just a question for you guys. How many have installed Unreal Engine so far? Are you guys totally up to date? Is everything a-okay? I can maybe just start a little bit and kind of get into just like the navigation. And if you're a little bit behind, do not worry. I will gladly tell you the ropes one more time. That's totally up to you. I can, however, just buy you a little bit more time. I can just show you some of the cool stuff as well. That when you start out with Unreal, so when you start getting yourself into, you get the feeling you think this is quite fun. There is something called Marketplace. That is one thing that we're going to use today. Basically, also what we're going to do is a level design. Bear in mind, we're not going to do like a game, but what we've been making is a scene. And what I hopefully will achieve by today is that we will do some set dressing. We'll use what is called Quixel Bridge. Quixel Bridge is a free asset library that has been built into Unreal Engine, where you can just get a bunch of free assets that you can just drag and drop, and you can just place them all over. And I'll just show you the basic navigation. And then at the very end, I will try to hopefully get you to grab a cool screen capture of the whole thing. I'll not be going too much into sequencer, because then it's like frame stacks, and then I'm gonna need you to download DaVinci or like a film program or editing software to get that up and running. So we'll start easy on this one, and we'll just do like a nice screen capture, and then hopefully if you feel like you've done a good work, you can share it on our Discord. And if you're not part of the Discord, please, you'll find the link in the description, and you'll find a Bootcamp channel in there where all you lovely participants can join and share your artwork and get some feedback from other Bootcamp attendees, and if not, also the amazing staff as well, and also the students from CADA. So, quick thing. When you get to the marketplace, there's a really neat little thing that I want you to show you, which is called Free of the Month. Basically, every single month, Epic Games goes in and finds 5 assets or mechanics or simulators or whatever, or blueprints. They will give that to you for free. You just basically have to have an account. And I can see now, this is in kroners, but roughly that will be around maybe 400, maybe 500 euros just of free stuff that you can get. And that will happen every single month. So do get into the habit. So if you're going to use Unreal quite a lot, check it out. Maybe already sometime next week, we'll already see some new Free of the Month stuff. You can also see as well, there's a little tab up here, free, where you can go in and get a bunch of cool stuff. And yeah, that is a cool thing. There's also like some pre-made scenes where you can go in and see what other people have been making. Yeah, and also, you probably noticed that the entire introduction, all the videos that was playing before that you had to see my face, was actually the students from class 23. They had a 1 week to make an exterior. So basically what you're seeing is a 5-day project where they did that exterior scene. Cool. I hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, hope all the sound is good. And also, bear with me, I'm not really a streamer. I think the last time I streamed was over 10 years ago. So yeah, tips and tricks is appreciated. So without further ado, also, it's completely free of choice if you want to tag along or you just want to see me kind of do some Unreal stuff. But if you want to, I will teach you the very basics of it. So, enough of this. I'm also gonna have a little bit of a drink. One of my good classmates gave me one of these primes. Not a fan. Logan Paul. This is like very sweet. I'm not throwing any shade. We're not endorsed or anything, but this is very, very sugary. And also, we are having Easter vacation this week. I don't know if you guys are having that too, but that means that from tomorrow, all the students here at CADA will be having some well-deserved days off. So, alright. When you've opened Unreal 5.3.2, I hope you installed the correct version, go into games and you will see this blank here. It will say, have this checker marked on starter content. We do not want that. We're gonna do that, and I would highly recommend you to give your project name something. So I'm gonna call this Easter Bootcamp version 0.1. That's just like a versioning. We usually do that at the school. We're gonna hit create, and now it's gonna do a bunch of thinking in the background. But here at the school, we are at the very early stages in semester 1. We are learning how to do naming convention. And that is like by versioning, you do a special form of called Pascal or camel casing. And we are learned to do versioning, because versioning can be quite important, because then you do version 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I don't know if you've ever done some kind of creative work before, when you do Word document dot final, all caps, final, the final, and you kind of work on top of that. So versioning is very easy, and it's so nice to be indexed throughout. So here we have Unreal Engine. You can try and yeah, we'll close this one down for now. But this is Unreal as it is. First of all, to navigate around, you're gonna hold in your right mouse button. That will kind of just like give you the, how do you say, to look around. And then a very classic, it will probably feel a little bit natural to you, but W is going forward, and S is going backwards, A is going left, and D is going right. So it's a classic WASD gaming navigation. You do have to hold down the right mouse button while you're doing this. And if I start pressing W, you're probably thinking like, oh my god, this goes so slowly. Don't worry. If you then scroll with your mouse wheel, start to see that now you're getting like some really, really fast movement. And now you can kind of like navigate around this dune looking scene. This is basically just the start level. This is basically just to give you a little bit of a feeling of what it is. So I kind of just want you to just get acquainted and just like move around a little bit and just like get the feeling of what the hell is going on. Some people can feel maybe it can be a little bit too fast, but then you just scroll again and you can turn it all the way down. If you don't have a mouse wheel, you can actually go up here and there's a little bit of you can actually see here a little what do you call it, a little slider for you to choose from, so then you can just like on the fly change it up and down. So this is pretty much it. So as we're in here, and just to show you a little bit of like the classic things, so when you've been using Blender, you had the outliner, you're gonna find the exact same thing out here. This is where all your stuff is gonna be out. There is a bunch of things that we'll go slowly over, but this is basically just what is in the scene, and this is just the index of whatever can be found. But what we will do is that we're going to create an entire thing from scratch. We do not want to use this dune. You're of course welcome to use this if you want to do a little bit of a dune. Lisa and Algaib. I don't know if you guys have been watching the part 2, great movie. But yeah, you can also more than welcome to use this backdrop as yours. Now, press down Control and Spacebar. This will pop up your content browser. This is where you'll find all your different assets, your materials. This is basically also where we're gonna create our little level in like in a subfolder. I myself like to do a little bit of an easy thing. There is this little tab down here called Dock in Layout. Oh, I might just gonna do no cam for you guys so you can see what the hell is going on. But if you see here, there is Dock in Layout. That's gonna just like basically just weld it in so it's a permanent thing. You can always just delete it if you want to go back, and then do Control Spacebar one more time and just have it. And if you really like to just have a full view of what's going on in your scene, you're very welcome to do that. Alright, Dock in Layouts. You can basically see that we now have the Easter Bootcamp version 1.1.1. We have the content and there is nothing in here. What we basically now do is we're gonna right click and we're gonna look towards what is called level. And we can call this, I'm not gonna do a forest, you can do whatever. So I'm gonna call this forest scene. And we now can double click that. We're gonna save selected. And boom, completely black. What the hell? This is like super annoying, like, Christian, why are you showing me a complete black scene? This is like not interesting at all. Do not worry, because since this is a complete new level, there's nothing in here. So we need to throw in a little bit of magic. So if you go up into Windows, up here, you should be finding something called Environment Light Mixer. If you press on that, so one more time, up into the Windows, go into and a few things down, you'll find an Underworld Partition, and go in and get Environment Light Mixer. You'll then be greeted with this pop-up menu, which is basically here we go in and start creating some light. So let's do create light, skylight. We're gonna create atmospheric light, sky atmosphere, volumetric cloud, volumetric cloud, sorry, and then create the height fog. Boom. Now it looks a little bit more interesting. Now you can just, in here there is a bunch of like tweaks and settings. We're not gonna go into that because you can spend hours upon hours absolutely geeking out how the look and the style. You can also go back to it at another point and kind of do some little small adjustments, but this should be fine as it is. Now, where's the floor? This is basically just, we're in heaven, but we are definitely gonna make some grounds. Up here, under your little tab here, there's selection modes. I would like you to go in and find what is called landscape. The shortcut for that will be Shift 2. Today we're gonna try and avoid using too many hotkeys and stuff like that. Let's just get acquainted with the user interface as it is. We're gonna press landscape, and this is basically just gonna show you this green. It's almost like a little bit of a blueprint, like what we're about to make, so you can get a feeling. For the sake of this, I kind of want to keep it like as small as possible, because due to graphics cards and maybe your hardware from home, we shouldn't make it too big. You can do what is called fill worlds, which basically means it's just gonna go just absolutely Minecraft on you and just expand it out. But that will be very, very taxing, and since we're not trying to make a Minecraft world or trying to recreate World of Warcraft one-to-one, I feel like a scale 100 by 100 by 100 would be sufficeable for today. You can, of course, always, if you have a powerful computer, you can just go in and just dial in the numbers and stuff. But for this, 100 and 100 and 100 should be fine. When you're ready, you should just go in and press create. And now it's going to do a little bit of thinking and just kind of get a hold on it. And yeah, so while that is thinking, then I can kind of give you a second just to get you acquainted as well with something called Quixel. Or actually, maybe not Quixel. I kind of actually want to show you this, because here in landscape we can actually do a little bit of sculpting. The sculpting tool is basically where you can do elevation changes. We can basically go in and create some small mountains, or we can do some hills. And basically what you do is that while this is live, you can still navigate around holding down the right mouse button. But if you start pressing the left, you start to see that it's creating hills. That's pretty neat. Control C to undo your stuff if you're not happy about it. But yeah, you can just go ahead and change also the strength. This can be a little bit iffy, because if I just yank this one up, you can see it is absolutely starting creating these insane height differences. I would recommend you to kind of keep it down a little bit, and just have a little bit of a feeling out. Oh, we have a question. Eisensei, does CADA offer online courses? Eisensei, I'm glad you asked. Yes, we do. There is, as of right now, an online course for animation as of right now. I do believe that's going to be the one that is currently available. And then there is this, of course, Bootcamp here online that we're doing. We are also, at the same time, making these available as a video on demand, like a VOD. And they will be free, and they will be here forever on our YouTube channel. But good to see you, Eisensei. I hope you are doing well. How are you doing? Are you where are you tuning in from? I'm curious. Where are you from? And meanwhile, I will quickly show you a cool thing. So if you be like, going on the slider and you think like, oh, I really want to go back to the default setting, there's this little button out here, which is basically resetting the property to its default value. Bam. Right back to the default setting. So that means that if you've been tweaking a lot the different settings, and you're just like, okay, I really want to just like start with a clean slate again, that is that is the way to go. So I'm kind of just I'm going for a little bit of a foresty themed here. Am I gonna do? Let's do a little bit of a valley. You can also write, so I can be like K. Oh, that's not pretty at all. CADA. Call me Picasso. No, but basically I'm just going to do a little bit of just like rough. Basically what we're trying to do is we want to do the 80% kind of rule. So we kind of want to get 80, and the last 20% is like the more small finessing. Eisensei, yeah, you're tuning in from Belgium. Oh, Belgium, following in VR again. Eisensei, that is such a cool thing. I saw that your screenshot that you sent it on our Discord, and I was blown away. Like, technology these days. I mean, I want to get myself a VR headset. So bad, so freaking bad. I'm just gonna quickly get myself another little sip of this sugary prime drink as well. God, yeah. Ooh. Cool. So let's start make some hills. We're just gonna see how is this doing. I could do maybe a little bit bigger. Let's do this. So yeah, let's do something like that, just a little bit. We can also go down and get like a feeling of how does it look down here, because yeah, that should be fine. Let's do a little bit of here. Yeah, it's just like, just do a little bit of trial and error. It's okay to do Control C. You can do whatever basically, because the assets that I'm gonna show you, you can do everything. It's like you can do urban, you can do forest, you can do tundra, you can do pretty much everything. There's like heaps of assets that I'm gonna show you guys to do. So let's say just add a little bit more over here. I'm gonna then turn down the brush size a little bit. I'm just gonna make a little bit of indentations just so it's not like completely flat around here. Tool strength, I'm gonna turn down a little bit and just do a little bit of, like I said, 80%. Let's get that in there. Now, if you look from above, you can actually see that this looks a little bit weird. It has like these like kind of hard like fall-offs. There is different brush types that you can use and different fall-offs depending on what kind of biome you maybe want to do. But these different sculpting things here, there is one called smooth. Now, if you remember when Emily was showing you ZBrush, you remember how you did the clay build-up and then you added like the smooth brush to kind of smooth the things out. This is the exact same, how do you say, the exact same thing that we do here. So if I start now with the smooth, I can now just like slowly go in and just add on to it and just like kind of smooth things out so it's not like too crazy. Bam, look at that. See, now it gets a little bit more. And the more you use it, the more it's gonna try and flatten the whole thing out. So, and I would give you a recommendation, don't hold in the smooth for too long, because that means that if you mess up at some point, your Control C is gonna be very destructive, and that means that you're gonna have to redo over a lot afterwards. So I would just like say, just go in and just do a little bit here and there. And if you see some flickering and stuff like that, don't worry about it. It's basically just Unreal, just kind of having a little bit of a funny moments. But yeah, so now if we go down, you can actually start to see that this is actually turning out really nice. I'm not too keen about the shadows over there. It's going to be a little bit too harsh. So now I can actually go back to the sculpts. And here is a cool thing. If you hold down shifts, also the same in ZBrush, if I remember correctly, it's gonna now, instead of increase, it's gonna decrease. So holding shift down, left mouse button, you can now see that it's now gonna try and like cave in on what used to be. That one maybe it was a little bit too rough, so you can always go back and do, see, Control C is your buddy, and just nice and easy, just kind of just like, it's just, what is it, the name of that that lovely painter who did the oil paintings online? He was so wholesome. Bob, was that his name? Bob Ross, I think his name is, that one with the amazing hair. So yeah, just easy strokes, or and there's no mistakes or something. Just happy mistakes. Oh, and now you can see. Oh no, what is happening here? Don't worry about it. A little bit of moving around usually kind of fixes the problem. Like I said, this is Unreal. This is an engine. So if you're having a little bit of wonkiness happening in your scene, 9 out of 10 times you shouldn't worry about it. So now you can see, smoothing it out a little bit. Bam! Would you look at that, huh? Okay, I like it, Picasso. Yeah, but you can spend hours on this. So. But we'll quickly move on to this. Yeah, I think that is good. I think that is very good. The next thing we're gonna do is that if you are happy with your landscape, you can always go back to selection. This is basically just like you can now press and you can see that the entire thing, and also you can see there is a landscape has been added out here in the outliner. That's pretty cool. So you can basically just go in and you can hide it. You can also show it back again. And out here, there's a bunch of options. Not something that you should worry about just now. That is something, yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. But yeah, there's a bunch of things you can do. There is a bunch of stuff. I'm not gonna go too much into it. It should be fine. One thing I would kind of like to let you know is there's something called landscape material. That is one thing that we're gonna look into a little bit later. But let's say that now that we have, we're happy about this, and we're just like, all right, we got something solid here. It's looking pretty neat. Up here in quickly add to the project, there is something called Quixel Bridge. Quixel Bridge is your little database of just heaps and heaps of assets. These are everything, as I told you before. There's materials, there's assets for whatever. As you can see, junkyard, and I can see there's almost 15,000 assets to choose from. They might not be your cup of tea, all of them, but at least there's going to be something in there that's going to be fun for you to use. Also, one thing you can also do is, if you don't want to use any of these assets, you can also use Blender and create your own assets and texture them, and then you can import them at the same time. I'll do that afterwards, but and just to show you how to get some of your Blender files into the Unreal scene. But now we're just gonna turn our focus to Quixel. One thing, really quick, up here there's a little bit of an icon. You just need to remember to log in again one more time with your Epic Game Launcher. This is basically just to make sure that everything goes by the book. Just gonna quickly make sure that I'm logged in. Yes, it's just because I don't want to have you guys see my email and stuff like that. But I'm logged in. But yeah, you can just like kind of go through here, and there is a bunch of things like 3D assets, plans, surfaces, decals, you name it. Medieval banquets. Sure. You want a pie? Yeah, you can do that. Smoked deer leg. There's a bunch of things in here. It can be a little bit exhausting, but let's say if you want to spend the time, let's say if you like me, you want to make a forest. Let's start with a material. Nordic, it's out here in first page. Down here you will see quality. Now here's the thing about Quixel Bridge. All their assets is what is called megascans. This basically means that it's super high poly count. That means that they are not super optimized, and they will be quite heavy for your machine if you don't have a high-end PC. Also, the texture sizes can be quite big and fill up. So your hard drive can be filled up pretty fast if you are not taking your precautions. For this, I will only be using medium quality just to make sure that I'm on the same page as yours. So what I'm seeing is what you're seeing, and what you're creating are adhere to the same rules as me. So medium, if you don't have a lot of disk place or storage place, just go for low quality. That should be a-okay. You just press download, and then it's basically just gonna do its thing. You can see the little icon down here. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm forgetting the no cam. Sorry. Down here is the quality options. Go for medium, go for low. You press downloads, and when you're finished, press add. If you want to be so kind. Yeah, there we go. Now, if I just minimize that for a quick second, you will now be able to see that now it has made, there is a, under our content, there's our foreseen, there's something called megascans. If you go into megascans, surfaces, there is our winner. Now, and if I want to, I can then take this little one, hold down left mouse button. Can you see out in the right corner that now it's illuminated with a blue? That is the landscape material. I can now add that in. Bam. It is a little bit hefty. You can see that it's kind of repeating itself. And if I remember correctly, I can do this. There's something up here. This is like if you want to see the behind the scenes. If you want to open the trunk on an engine, or open the engine bay on a car and see like what is actually going on here, there should be something, if I remember correctly, in details. There should be something called global. If you drop down this called tiling and offset, and you enable that one, these two here will kind of help you out a little bit. So this is set to 1.1. Now if I press 0.1, it should, yeah, now it's getting a little bit wonky, bear with me. Now you can see that it's actually changing in sizes. This is a very it's a very much like a trial and error. It really depends on how your scene is looking. Just gonna take this one out here to the left side. Oh, by the way, one thing that is really a good thing, if you have a secondary monitor, please do keep this one on the secondary monitor, because then you can kind of like on the fly see what is happening. But I will, however, try and do this in one do on one screen or one monitor, so we are all equal in this one. Zhao Pierce, damn nice. This got recommended to me on time. Welcome Zhao. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. I hope you're how are you doing, buddy? Where are you tuning in from? And welcome once again to the stream. We have about an hour left, so let's get this up and running. So I'm gonna probably do 0.5 maybe. Nah, that's not it. Maybe do a 2.2. Nah, that's not it. Let's do a 0.2, 0.2. It is a little bit repetitive, unfortunately. It does has... I mean, if you go back and see the original World of Warcraft, I mean, if you're all the way down here, it doesn't look too much, but when you start looking up, you're starting to see see a pattern. And basically what it does is that it seamlessly tries to just stack the textures across. Nah, it's Xiao. Nah, it's fine. My name is weird. It does sound exotic, so I'm sorry if I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. But let's maybe do 0.1 again. 0.1. Almost. Let's maybe do 0.01, 0.01. Oof. See, now we're very close to the ground. That might be a little bit too extreme. But take a look at this, guys. This is only medium quality, and we can still get like a pretty solid... Like, you can distinguish, you know, all the twigs and all the small branches and the moss that is laying on the ground. But if you see right here, if we want to get a little bit more grand feeling of the scene, we might gonna have to tone it down just a little bit more. So we're just gonna do 0.1, 0.1. This will do fine for now, because I'm gonna try and show you some cool stuff afterwards. But if you're kind of like on the same page as right now, I would recommend you to go ahead and save. There is a little bit of a save icon up here. Press that one. Now it's gonna look a little bit weird. Don't worry about it. It's basically just having a little bit of a party. But don't be scared. All right, let's go back to bridge one more time. So I want to look for some trees. That was what I was going for. Let's see if we can find some cool, let's see, collections. Garden behind glass. There's some Nordic forest. I'm not too sure if they have, yeah, they only have tree trunks. Huh. Yeah, so that is interesting. But yeah, now you can just like go in and you can just start adding stuff. So I might want to have... Let's start populating the ground first. So let's get in and just add... Oh, there's some mossy rock. I'll take that. Mossy rock that. I do have a little bit of this space, so I can go a little bit more bonanza here. So, but it's all about trial and error. All about trial and error, my friends. Can't wait to see what you guys are working on. If you guys are planning on doing anything else, maybe something urban, or you want to try something completely else, I can't wait to see what you guys are cooking. So let's do some more rocks here. Let's go and do... Yeah, we'll get a lock. Let's get some locks in. Let's do as well here. Yeah, see, this is the thing. So, oh yeah, by the way, you can do... There's these community things. It is absolutely insane. So you'll get like the assets that has been used to create these specific scenes. So you can do like Roman city, you can maybe make a classroom, you can do garden house, forest ruins. Oh my god. Forest ruins. How about that? Huh, well maybe we'll snack that for a quick second. And here you can see the all the stuff that you have been making. So you can press this one and it will actually go straight into the asset that you've been using. And now, if I'm correct, I can do this, and I can just drag this out. Boom! And now it's here. Quite small, not gonna lie. But if you go close enough, you can see there's these like arrows. This is basically this is your locator. This is basically just like if you want to move it around in the scene. But if you press R, now it has changed symbols. This means that now you can scale it. This is the scale tool. And that little gray box in there, that is basically just going to say, I'm just going to unify it, just scale it up across. And you're just going to kind of move it from the left to the right. And now you're going to get a pretty cool rock in here. Now, here is a thing though. These assets can be quite taxing on your CPU system. What you can do, if I remember correctly, if you double click on this one, there is something called... So this is the rock right now. We can see that it has 3,910 triangles and it has a 2.1 thousand or 2,100 vertices. That can be a little bit taxing if you start adding a lot of them. There is something called Enable Nanite support. Now this is something that Unreal has been working on for quite some time. Nanite is basically just, it's gonna kind of like try to reduce the triangles, but still preserve the kind of just texture quality too much. I will, however, need to give you a little bit of heads up. I think it's only supported for a certain Windows type. I think it's for DirectX 12. That is super important to let you know, or else it might not work. So Mac users and Windows 9 and below users, do keep in mind that this might not support. But what you basically can do is you can enable it, quickly go down and do apply changes. And what I want you to look at now, you can see that it's kind of like just working a little bit. It's preparing some shaders. You can still see that it has the triangles, but now I can do this. And if I now press 10% and press enter and do apply changes, did you see what just happened? The triangles went down to 500 and the vertices went down to 357. That's not a lot, and it's still looking pretty great. I mean, I know it's a little bit like harsh on the geometry, but it will actually suffice. So by that, we now have a pretty decent and very performance-friendly rock asset in here. Also, one thing, if this viewport is a little bit heavy and a little bit taxing, you're feeling like it's lacking, or like you're feeling some stutter, there is up here a little icon called Lits. You can do what is called unlits. Basically what it does, it basically just like kind of just turns off a lot of the graphics that it wants to show you in the viewport. This is basically just like to make it a little bit more easy. Yeah, that is pretty much it. Now I'm not gonna have the rock right there, so basically I'm just gonna press on it and just press the delete button if it works. Yeah, and then basically you saw it disappear out here. Now, one thing you can also do, Unreal Marketplace is also a cool thing. If it wants to pop up. Unreal Marketplace. I think it might gonna have to ask me to open it up down here. Library. And Unreal Engine. And library. Down here, these are like a bunch of these different assets that I've collected throughout when I started. And I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna add it to the projects. Add to projects. And basically you then have like this insane amount of just like library in here where you can just add upon on it. And that was the whole thing that I talked about earlier, is basically every single month you'll get hands on these different assets, but also there is a bunch of free assets in there at the same time. You can see it is from Megascans, so you can go in and just absolutely just pick whatever you want, add them to your project, and just have at it. Now, meanwhile this one is loading, I will show you something called the foliage editor. This requires that we have downloaded some assets before us, so we'll quickly go back to the bridge. We'll go back to home, and we should look at some plants. There is difference of plants to choose from, everything from what can be found inside an apartment to under the sea. There will also be a bunch of different things that you can do. I think we should add some, yeah, let's add a little bit of here. We should add a little bit of greater bush. Maybe get some crowberry in there. We should maybe do, what should we get? There is so much stuff to choose from. It's absolutely insane what there is. You should be a little bit careful, because like now and then you can kind of like download different assets that might not be suitable to work between each other. Maybe get something from aquatic, maybe to something that will be found as a houseplant. So try maybe to, yeah, stick to one thing. So let's say we do flowering plants. So as you can see, I pretty much contain myself to what can be used here. And let's do Bermuda. And then we have these 4 different options. So you can see there's a little bit of a tag. You can do export medium quality, and export medium quality. Now, we want to populate this scene with some ground plants. That is like the cool part about it. So let's do foliage. Now you can see here, we kind of got the same kind of tool that we just had just before. So we're gonna do plus foliage. Oh. And you can see all the stuff that we have in here. So you can now start adding these to what you want to like use as a brush, because now we can just as fast as possible just kind of use it as a brush stroke and just populate the scene with just these insane floors. Now, since this is a very short demo that I'm gonna show you guys, I'm not gonna do it like amazing, but this is like something that you can use like days upon, just like kind of just like, I'm just gonna use this specific plant here, I'm just gonna use this specific plant here. But you can now see that if I use this, and you'll have this nice little brush indicator. Boom. Now it has just populated our scene. Some of them are gray, but don't worry, that's because the texture hasn't been loaded. But can you now see that you can just now instantaneously, just with one brush stroke, just get a bunch of plants out. Now, be careful, because if you look into down here, there is now over 1,000 individual plants of these that has just been with this one brush stroke. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do a brush size that is a little bit like, we can keep the size, but I would definitely recommend you to get that density as far down as possible, or else it's gonna absolutely tank your computer. But now if I just like increase this size, you can now see, might not gonna be able to see much right now, but now you can start to see that it's populating the scene across. Can be a little bit taxing. You can always, of course, go back to unlit, or yeah, it's gonna be a little bit difficult to see. I might just gonna have to keep it unlit just to see what the hell is going on. But this is like as a good start to kind of just like get it in. But now you can see we already all the way up on almost 4K So I believe that will suffice as of right now. Cool. That was it. We can also do this the same with trees at the same time. So when my Megascan that I just showed you, that I downloaded from the Unreal Marketplace, also free, you can find it in there. We can basically also use that to just populate the scene with trees in here, and that can just really get you a really cool, give you a really cool look. So yeah, I will leave this as of right now. You can also, if you want to go in, like, by all means, you can do single. You can just go in and just get down to the ground. You can just be like, boop, boop. That is a little bit more nitpicking. That is more just like, I would recommend more to use that for, let's say, larger assets, let's say trees and whatnot. But now, just like with one click, bonk, I can just add these, and it's basically just gonna randomize my selection of plants throughout. But that's just like, if you were to do all of this by hand, it's gonna take eons before you will get finished. Let's see how we're doing on time. It is also, there's 40 minutes left. I think we're moving pretty good on. I will also quickly see if my Megascans has been added. Not yet. Not yet. I'll see. Megascan presets. Are you in there yet? I will just quickly check if it's okay. Nah, see, it's still loading, so I'm just gonna give it some time. Now we can do something that is pretty cool. We're gonna place a camera in here, and that's basically what we're gonna work from. Since this is not a game per se, we're then gonna kind of treat this scene as if what we can see is in the camera is what we're gonna focus on. When it comes to when you want to do just like something that is aesthetic, basically what you see from the camera is basically what's important. So whatever is going on in the background might not be that important. And you can just cheat quite a lot. You can actually make a very more sophisticated, you can spend a little bit more time, maybe get some bounce light corrected. So we go back to selection. We can do this up here. We are then gonna go down to cinematic, and there is something called Cine Camera Actor. As you can see, there is now a camera. Also, if you want to focus in on an object and you're too far away from it, you can press on the camera. Let's say, for example, that, and if you press F, it's gonna like zoom in and kind of show you what's going on. You're also gonna get a little pop-up up here, which is basically just what is the camera seeing right now. So if I were to now press E, that is the rotate, and now take the blue, which is basically just what we're working with horizontal, you will now kind of just like turn around and you can see what is the camera seeing as of right now. Then if you press W, now we're into the translate. We can now ask it to go all the way down. We might gonna do like a little bit of a close-up shot here, just like, ooh. So that is pretty neat. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. And if I do remember correctly, we can also kind of just like take over the camera. I'm just gonna quickly find where that option is. There should be an option. We're just gonna do that in hot minutes. I'll quickly get back to that. Another cool thing you could do is the sun. The sun is actually also is modifiable and can actually change. So up here, there's something called directional lights. Now we're basically playing God right now, because now we can actually change the day of the time. But what we basically can do is that we can do, if we hold down Control L, now can you see what's going on? I am now with my mouse, I can now make it look like there's a sunset going on. We can get this like super, we can also like do almost darkness. So if you really want to go the horror way, you can really like get something in there. But I kind of want a little bit of maybe we should do maybe over here. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Get that little bit of a golden hour. Maybe. I'll press the sun here. And if I then press Control, yeah, and then it is pretty much left. So now we got a sunset. How cool is that? And if I now go back into the Cine Camera Actor, we can now see what it's basically seeing. And that is pretty cool. And for all of you camera nerds out there, there is a bunch of cool, what's it called, settings that you can do out here in the outliner down here. We're not gonna go too much into it, but there is like a bunch of settings. You can do IMAX 70 millimeter, you can do DSLR, you can do Super 8, you can do, there is a bunch of stuff. I'm basically just gonna leave it as it is, but you can also do zooms, and there's aspect ratios. I kind of want to do a little bit of a widescreen, so bam, we got this right here. So that is a little bit more just like a little bit more widescreen, so that's pretty neat. And let's just quickly check up on my good trees. Are we still happy? Oh, it's verifying right now, so yeah, just hold on, you guys. I'm gonna show you some pretty cool stuff. Now, I'm quickly gonna just find my notes just to make sure if I have a little bit of a cheat sheet here on the side, because you know, it does take quite some time and you cannot remember all the stuff. So I'm just quickly gonna find out how do I control the Cine Actor camera. Just give me a second here, guys. And I hope you're doing well. Of course, if you have any questions regarding the school or about the education, about me, how's the life here at the school, please do let me know. How to yes, I think. Are you really? Are you? Yeah, I'm so sorry I didn't see it. Here is what is called Pilot Cine Camera Actor. And basically right now, we're looking through the camera and basically seeing what it's seeing. So now you can see there's a little bit of depth of field, there's a little bit of blurry thing going on here, and that is actually pretty neat. Do keep this in mind when you are controlling the camera. It is changing also your location as well at the same time. So, but let's say we want something like a little bit of a window screen. I know it's gonna look a little bit blurry here in the background, but don't worry, we'll fix it. I'm just gonna quickly see if I can do this at the same time. Yeah, there is also bloom. Bloom is basically a little bit of you can turn down the intensity. There's like a bunch of stuff that you can go in here. I'm just gonna see it. And one thing that there is about like Unreal Engine is that you can do a bunch, like you can really just like kind of just like try and just like, you know, go a little bit crazy on the sliders. Like, does it do something? Like, what happens if I do 10? Is something happening? No? Okay. Well, I can always return back. So yeah, there is plenty of options. Now, if you don't want to pilot your camera and you kind of feel like I found like a pretty good spot here, you can go up here and you can stop piloting and bam. Now we're back and the camera now has been set to where you are as of right now. And I believe now that we have been getting our European. Yes, we got them. So we got the trees in here. Now you're gonna see some crazy stuff. So with this in mind, I know that a bunch of my scene is now unused, and since there's nothing there, I'm basically just gonna focus on some foliage. So in theory, all this foliage I've been drawing out here that is not visible is actually just unusable as right now, unless of course you want to populate an entire scene and you want to do different different cameras, you can do that. The whole sequencing, that is a sequencer thing, and just the amount of YouTube tutorials that you can find online about a specific thing that you want to do, it is there. I promise you there is someone who is giving you an in-depth tutorial, and that is really, really cool. Now I have all these. You can see if I go ahead and add them, it has like a little, it needs to have a little bit of waiting time, but you can see what is happening when it is thinking. And really, this loading time really can vary from computer to computer. It's really just like down to what is, how fast your computer is. And you might now and then think, oh god, I think I crashed my computer. Just give it a minute. But now it's loading. Is there any question from the chat? Do you have anything you want to ask? I'm here. I'm all here to answer whatever you might have. And also, if you're celebrating it, happy Easter. I think it's about to start. I know that a lot of us here from the school has been going home and is taking some well-deserved days off. And look at that! We have a tree! Boom! Let's place one here. You can see it's a little bit iffy, but it's just, if you give it some loading time, it should be fine. And bam, 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 we have a tree. How cool is that? And you can see it's out here in the outliner, but since this is not going to be important, and we're going to do some foliage editing, we're just going to delete it for now. Now, we know the camera is here, so while we're looking into the camera, I want to go up here into the selection. We're going to go back to foliage again one more time. Oh, right, I can't see. Not to worry, not to worry. Now, if I want to do foliage, I might want to add these trees. And we can just do, I don't know if it wants to add these individually. I think it actually might too. Oh god, it's going to take a little bit of time. We're just going to add all of them. We're just going to add all of these trees. So we're just going to do FT, because I know that is what the name of them are. Just going to do each. We're going to do, what else do we want? Let's do. Oh god, there's quite a few. So let's do that one again. And now we have these ones up here. We're going to enable these, but we do not want to have these as well, or else it's just going to go absolutely ballistic again one more time. Boom, 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 boom. I think also there should be, I can't remember what the, there is an option where you can just like disable all of them at once. But I'll figure that out for next time. I think it's, yeah. I'm gonna do paint. See? There we go. It's important to stay awake. It's important to stay awake. Cool. So, this size is too damn big. So we're gonna kind of tone it down a little bit. We're gonna maybe do 1,000 here. And let's see what happens if I now do this. Oh no. And it's not doing that much. I think it's because we need to add an extra. Oh yeah, you can actually see that it's actually hiding beneath, I think. It actually is. So we're just gonna do a little bit of erasing. We're just gonna do some cleanup. We're gonna do also just a little bit of cleanup around here as well. Let's just do a big blob. Okay, that might be too big. Let's do 4,000. We're just gonna do. It should be good. We're gonna do paint, and we're gonna add these again. And what happens now? It is still not working. Oi! And that's why we That's why it was a little bit, yeah, a little bit tense. God, that is a lot of tree. Yeah, I'm not gonna get too close. Wow, Jesus. Control C is your friend in this. Wowzers. Okay, that was a lot. That was, oh my god. Yeah, let's go in and let's remove these. I also could just hear our computer just like suddenly the fans were just like speeding up quite a lot. I was thinking, oh, this might not be good. Yeah, so the brush size is fine, but the paint density, ooh, we gotta add some zeros. That is for sure. Well, that's the thing. Try out and you'll see what happens. Oh, we're just gonna go back to paint, and now, see, now we're adding trees. How neat is that? And now we can just slowly populate the scene. And it's all good. Now, by the way, I'm not making this pretty at all. This is basically just like, you know, this is giving you the driver license to just have at it. So this is like, you can spend days upon days upon days just really perfecting the scene and just making it look awesome and stuff like that. It is. So I have an idea of what I want to do. I might gonna do something a little bit crazy. Call me crazy. I'm gonna remove one of the zeros because I want to have it a little bit more dense up here on the ridge. And please, by all means, you can go in and do a bunch of crazy. You can go in and tweak the scales so there's more diversity in the heights and the sizes, so you can really just like kind of sell the effect of like, oh wow, it's like it's not just the same asset. But the more you add into it, the more just the more you sell the effects. So I'm just gonna get as close as possible to the camera, and then I want to add a rusty old car inside this scene. How's this looking, huh? So if I go back to selection, I press the cine actor camera, and we're just gonna do this, and we're just gonna pilot. This is now what we're looking at. How cool, huh? Now, it can be taxing on because, like, depending on your asset size, so I would recommend, as I said before, working on lids, because that is definitely just, like, toning down a bunch of stuff, and especially if you're just here just to kind of get a feeling of what the hell you're seeing in the scene. You can always just turn it on. I promise you, we'll be there. There is also 20 minutes left, so the next 10 minutes I'm just gonna add one asset, and then I will find like some kind of like a weird thing that I'll add into the scene. But this is basically what we're working with. I do, however, want to add one thing. I want to change the size of the lens. Maybe a 85 mil? Ooh, nope. Maybe a 30. Yeah, this is cool. This is cool. And if I now then do if I do lit, this is what we're dealing with right now. There's also a thing called height fog, which is basically just giving you a density, like how, like, so it gives that little bit of a volume. So if I do 0.01, did you see the massive change? That's basically just like how much of this do you want inside your scene. You can go full Silent Hill if you ever played that game or seen the movies. You can really give like some thick fog. So if you make like a urban scene environment, you can definitely go in and do some tweaks in there. I'm still thinking it's a little bit too much. I'm just gonna remove one more zero because it is quite dense, I would say. Oh, right. Sorry. Wrong value. So now do 0, 0, 0. How about that, huh? That looks so... I think it looks pretty. This is, of course, my humble opinion. So, but a tree scene is always nice. So now when we have this, I want to go in and add one last thing. I kind of want to add like something industrial, maybe like a car that has been left out here. So we'll go into collection. We'll maybe look at, we can, vehicle. Oh, there's only mud splashes. That's a little bit boring. What else do we have? What else do we have? Let's see what is in the collection here. I kind of want to be fast about this because what I want to show you at the very end, I kind of want to show you how to take a beautiful screenshot, and that will be kind of it. And then if you want to, you're more than welcome to keep on working on your scene, but you can also send currently work in production into our Discord. Hopefully we'll be finding something cool. There's blood if you want that. There is dystopian. Oh, guys, I might think I want to do something cool in honor of Emily. Unfortunately, I'm gonna put a sword. Do we have a sword, or is it only daggers? There's a sword. Download that one. And add it. Of course, medium quality as always, or else you will be absolutely tanking. Let's see. Sword. I think we got that one. I'm just gonna place one out here. We're gonna increase it in size, pressing R again for the scale. We're gonna then increase this bad boy here. All right, and I'm also still in Cine Camera Actor. I'm gonna do this. And then I'm gonna move it back. Have it here or something like that. Pressing E to do a little bit of rotation. Also, if you find these incrementals like super annoying, like you want to have a little bit more freedom, up here you'll find these increments. You can do this, and you can do, let's say, 5 if you want to, giving you a little bit more freedom. Or if you just press it damn off, you're getting full on just whatever you like, and that just gives you a little bit more freedom. I would, however, recommend you to keep it like as snappy angles if you're working with urban environments, like if you're placing kind of like Sims, like if you want to have those like perfect 90 degrees squares and placements, that will be a good recommendation. By the way, I'm super stoked to see what you guys are making as of right now. Also, if you don't have anything ready as of right now, you can keep on working on the project, and then just at later time, just add it into the Bootcamp channel. So let's have a look at this. So let's see if I now do unlit. Well, would you look at that, huh? Would you look at that? While you're using your camera, there is a certain setting. If I remember it correctly, there is something called focus. Now, what you can do is that you can actually go in and do what is called a draw debug focus plane. This is basically showing you where the camera is trying to show where its focus is. But what you also can do is you can take this one, sample scene. I'm just going to turn off the light again because it is quite taxing here. And I will take that one, and I will place it upon the sword. There we go. And when I then do unlit, it went full Oppenheimer on me. There is a bunch of stuff you can do in here. You can really, and you can also do a focal length as well. So if you want like a super blurry background, you can really just turn down the f-stop value and just really get that in. That is pretty much what you can do. I mean, we can try and mess around. So if I do down here aperture, which is also f-stop for those camera aficionados. So if I do 1.8 here, it should, if I remember correctly, I can't remember if it's f-stop or if it's the current focal length. Maybe let's do, see, basically I'm just like you, I'm just like typing around and see just like, oh, what does this button do and what does this do? It is really just like a trial and error. for how it, to see if it works or if it doesn't, and whatnot. Apparently it doesn't do that much. Let's see if there is anything else that we can do. We are closing in. A question, Suferatus. Yo, was just looking for an Unreal tutorial. Glad I stumbled upon this. Can't wait to go through it from the beginning. Absolutely, Suferatus. This is actually the first time we're doing an Unreal introduction. So basically just showing you quickly to do a set dressing of the scene. This is going to be available for you as a video on demand as soon as I'm pressing off, or I'm ending the stream. Give it a few minutes, then it should have been processed and it will be available as a video on demand right here on the YouTube channel. And if you're completely new, we're doing this every single Wednesday, where we're teaching you how to sculpt in ZBrush. We're doing modeling, we're doing texturing. Then every other week we're doing like a 2-day animation course where you'll do some cool stuff. And then we have Unreal Engine at the very end, where we're kind of making these awesome scenes. And we're just trying it out. So please, by all means, I mean, I'm clocking out in 15 minutes as soon as that is done. But yeah, hang around, and yeah, hope you're doing well. And just kick back and relax and see what the hell is going on. Also, one thing that I'm seeing as well is like I'm having a little bit of delay on the YouTube, and when I'm like looking into the outliner, I can just see me like super hunched over. I'm just like, oh god, that's a bad posture. But it's fine. But yeah, as of right now, we're kind of finding how to do some manual focus. I kind of want to just do a little bit of I want to tweak the lens a little bit to add a little bit of blur here and there. What happens if I start doing this? Oh wow, if you're watching this, it looks like absolutely insane in the background. It's just like the entire like forest. But that is actually like a kind of cool thing as well. Some of these mega scans also have like these like, you know, the animation of the trees like moving. So if you want to do like if you want to capture like a full sequence, just like, yeah, you can do that, and then it's, as you can see, moving. It is, I can see, moving a little bit crazy. I would kind of find it a little bit disturbing if I was walking through this this forest here. We're kind of reaching an end here. I would like to just show you quickly how to get a cool screenshot of your scene. This requires you to be in, I'm just gonna quickly go out just to make sure. Also a cool little neat thing, you can do unlit in here, but then it's showing you what it's like it's lit inside the scene as well. But basically what we want you to do, go to the Cine Camera Actor now. You now want to go in and you want to pilot the Cine Actor camera. You want to do lit, because we're lit like that. And then we're gonna press F11. Come on, F11. Boom! How about that? Now we in full screen right now. That means that basically just like we're just like seeing whatever is blowing. But now you can see like I've pressed something, and that is like not pretty to like capture for the scene. So basically what I will do, I will press G. That is gonna hide all like the gizmos, as you can see, like all these like icons up here, and you can see our little gizmo down here as well. So if I press G now that has disappeared. Don't worry about these things that is up here. I think they should be fine. If I now press F9, screenshot, if you see down here, I'm just gonna quickly remove no cam. You should now see this little thing here, and it shows you the file destination, and it's in here. So now we just quickly can do, because this is absolutely taxing the living crap out of my poor GPU here at our computer. I now have a screenshot of our scene, and this is basically yours to use. Suveratus, sounds fun. I'll check out the channel and maybe catch the next stream earlier then. Absolutely. Sorry that you didn't catch it from the start. We do stream, I remember, this is like local time. I can just figure quickly that out for you. It is 5:30 p.m. 5:30 p.m. local time here in Denmark, but that will be 5:30 till 7 p.m. CET, so that will be Central European time, if I remember that. But now, guys, you just have this amazing PNG, like a screenshot of your scene. You can, of course, place your camera in different angles and just absolutely have at it. Yeah, I know there's a bunch of things that we can tweak inside of this this scene. Also, we can quickly press F11 to go back out. And now we're back, and now we can kind of like, you know, relocate, or we can do like, we can change some stuff here. Maybe get a little bit closer, or yeah, that looks cool. Maybe get that in there. Press 11 once again. Get that puppy lit ASAP. Just give it a little bit of moment. Just kind of just let it think for a minute. And yeah, then just one more time. Just press that F9. And you will see here down in the bottom, a screenshot have been captured, and all your lovely things will be added in here for you to use. So you go under your Unreal projects, and basically you can see Easter Bootcamp. There should be something called, and then there is screenshots in here, and there is where to be found. So if you want to, you are more than welcome to share it. Share your screenshots with all of us in the Discord channel. We do have the special Bootcamp channel that we can be found here. I can just quickly drag this over here. This is our humble humble Discord for CADA. This is for the students, but also guests at the same time. We have this little collaborative chats where you can chat with others. If you have some issues, maybe somebody wants to like figure something out with Blender, ZBrush, texture, whatever. We also have the creative show off where you can see some people might have been spending some time making some cool stuff, from rigging to in-game captures, models, all that kind of jazz. 3D Bootcamp is pretty much where we share. Last week we did texturing, where some of the participants was modeling this Dragon Slayer sword, which was absolutely amazing. There was a guy who made a dagger, and some of the students was showing him how, or her, how good topology is. Yeah, there's just a bunch of cool stuff. This is from the ZBrush class where they're making sculpts, fast little dragon where they are combining different animals. And hey, there's Eisensei, and I know that he's chilling, watching VR as well at the same time. And that is so freaking cool. And that's Emily out there. She's taking all, the other classes, the modeling, sculpting, and texturing. And yeah, I mean, there's just like some cool stuff in here. So yeah, please don't be scared. Just send it in there, and also maybe if you want to spend the weekend kind of just like tweaking and adding a little bit. Yeah, it's loads of stuff in there. Louise is asking, can you? I guess you can move around and record a video, right? Yes, you can. However, it's changing a little bit different, because basically what is happening, I can show you what to do the last few minutes, but it will do one thing here. It's gonna, when you're gonna render out what is called a frame stack, which basically means that it's gonna have a bunch of individual screenshots, what you would say, and just like, and it can really fill up your disk space quite fast. Then you would need a video editing software, something like Adobe After Effects, or you can choose the free option, which is DaVinci Studio. There is a free option that you can use in there. And there you will have to import them in as a sequence, and then you can render it out as your desired file format. Unfortunately, due to the time constraints, I'm only able to show you how to take a screenshot here, but there's a bunch of tutorials in there on YouTube for you to use. So basically just you can keep the Unreal project open, and then go into YouTube and find out. But basically how it works is that, first of all, F11 to go out from this. We're just going to do quickly unlit scene here, just to make it a little bit more easier. We're going to jump out of this cine camera actor, because now we are not changing it, so we're keeping the camera in place where it is. And basically what you want to do is that you want to go down into the content browser, go in here, press right click. If you want to work, let's just do content here. Sorry, right. And we are going to look for a sequence. And I think that will be in some of these cinematics. Level sequence, that is what you want to go for. And we're just going to do test sequence. You're going to press that, and this basically just like comes out as a little bit of an extra here. This is basically your animation little frame. So basically what you want to do is you want to take your Cine Actor camera, as you can see here, drag it in, bam. Now we're basically watching this through the lens right here. And that's basically just going to help us out just to see what's going on. You're going to do lit. Oh god, that was an Oppenheimer nuclear bomb. It actually goes off all the time. And basically now we have roughly, what is it, like 165 frames. That should be fine. Yeah, and then there is render this movie to a video or frame sequence. You should, however, just press that one. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. There is an AVI. You can actually get a file or a video file format out. I'm sorry I didn't take that into account. But AVI are super, super, super heavy file formats. And you will quickly see that something like in the span of maybe like 10 seconds, it's going to fill out a couple of gigs, like maybe between 2 to 5 gigabytes of storage. So if you're low on hard disk, I would recommend you maybe just do it as the output format as a JPEG or something like that. And if you have a video software where you can get frame stacks in, that should be good. 30 FPS. Frame rate, okay. We're just doing 30. We don't want to do 24. There is test resolution. You can go crazy if you want to. You can do 4K, but that is quite hefty. You can do full HD. You can do some compression quality. You can decide where the output directory is, and then you just basically press capture movie. Also, save selected. And basically now you're gonna see it's like popping up a new screen, and basically that is where it's gonna show. Oh, there we go. And now it's just like, now it's going crazy. So now there is a little video for you to do. What you also can do is when you're using the sequencer, you can animate the camera. You can like make it to like move. You can do like a slow like zoom towards like, let's say, the object, or maybe you want like a flying through the scene if you've done like one of the a little bit more bigger scenes and you really want the viewer to see what is going on here. But yeah, I mean, the world is your oyster. That is Unreal Engine for you. And yeah, it's pretty cool. And I hope that helped you to answer your question, Louise. But again, of course, if there's something that you kind of want to like learn a little bit more about, YouTube is absolutely your friends and your ally. There is abundance of cool tutorials in there, absolutely amazing of what to do. There's also different ways of working with sequence, and there's different ways of exporting if you really want to go really all out. But yeah, it's the world is yours, man. So but yeah, we're slowly creeping up at 7 p.m, which means that this bootcamp is about to end. If there is some, let's say, last questions before I will take off, please do send them. Or else you can go onto the Discord. I will quickly just send you. Oh, capture finished. Let's just quickly have a look. It's fine. Meanwhile, that is thinking. I will just quickly get out of this quick poor thing here. Let's see the capture folder. Let's see if it's done something. And there you have it. So you both got how to screen capture, and you also got a little sequence. So I hope that helped. You can always go into the sequence and add more length to it, like add more frames, but just keep in mind that of course that takes a little bit of time. You can also see that it is changing like from darkness to then be, like adjusting. It's kind of like it's trying to like act like an actual eye, so it's like, you know, adjusting the brightness. There is one thing you can do which is like called warm-up frames, where basically you're gonna give it like a little bit of a running start before that. But yeah, I mean, if you capture something from your scene, you just got a cool screenshot from your scene, do share it into our Discord. I will quickly send you the cool little invites to it, and come in and hang out with us in the scene. In the Bootcamp channel. Just gonna send a few Discord invites. Yeah, go in and send some stuff, or you can keep on working. You can find me in there. I'm one of the moderators of the Bootcamp Bootcamp Discord. You can find me as CJ. It's quite easy to spot me, and I have avatar of one from Daft Punk, because massive fan here. I absolutely love it. But I think that concludes for today's bootcamp. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us for this time around. Like I said, for those who are a little bit unaware, this is our last bootcamp of this cycle. We start already again next Wednesday. Next Wednesday we'll be sculpting in ZBrush, where we will use the free version of it, where our lovely host with the most, Emily, will be returning her duties, where you will be making some kind of a sculpt, maybe a dragon, maybe it might be something else. That time will only tell. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you learned something new today. If you're curious about this school and what the hell it is, quickly, this is called CADA, Copenhagen Academy of Digital Arts. We offer a 3.5-year 3D generalist education, and I'm part of the gang. I'm now in my 4th semester or my 2nd year, and it's been one hell of a ride, and I enjoy it every single day. So if you want to read more about it, there's a website and all the cool links you can find in the description. And if you are getting some vacation or some Easter holiday from tomorrow, or you're currently in it, happy Easter and happy holidays to everybody. I'm out. My name was Christian, and I can say Random Access Memories. That's a good album. I will definitely listen to that album tonight in honor of yours. But thank you for this time around. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you at the next Unreal Engine Bootcamp. Peace out, guys.